Now, these two people have been responsible for secessionism in that particular area in Surrey. Now, they have been aided and abetted by the Pakistani Consul General, and that too out in the open. And all this is known to the Canadian intelligence. Is that while US is concerned about the so-called Indian activity in Nijjar's killing, why doesn't the US tell the Canada to take action against the terrorists, the Khalistani terrorists which are being given shelter over there? I think it is time that Justin Trudeau, instead of playing these smoke and mirror games, cloak and dagger games, he should come out in the open as to what intelligence or what evidence does he have.
Hi, you're watching In Focus on Hindustan Times, and with me is Shishir Gupta, the paper's executive editor. There's a story that is doing the rounds today that Pakistan's spy agency, that is the ISI, orchestrated the killing of terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar in Canada. Why? Well, ostensibly to strain the ties between India and Canada. Now, we don't have an independent corroboration on that. However, what we do know for sure is that Islamabad has been and continues to instigate and support Sikh radicals against India. Shishir, I remember reading a story that you had done a year ago about a so-called Sikh referendum that was held in Ontario. That was September last year. HT even had, at that time, visual proof that the Pakistani Consul General in Canada, Jambaz Khan, visited two pro-Khalistan gurudwaras in Surrey in Vancouver on the same day and held secret meetings with the separatist leaders. One of those gurudwaras was the Guru Nanak Sikh Gurudwara in Surrey, and Hardeep Singh Nijjar was its president at that time. Can you explain to us what happened on that day and how it showed the tentacles that Pakistan's ISI has in the Khalistani conspiracy in Canada?
Thanks. Aditi, as far as the conspiracy and the involvement of the ISI goes, I think best is for you to ask the Five Eyes for that, because I personally don't have an answer to that, really. But if you look at the picture of Consul General Jambaz Khan in the Surrey Gurdwara, you can see in the background all the secessionist elements, the photographs of all the secessionist elements in the background, where Jambaz Khan is central to the entire meeting in the Gurdwara. Now, what happens is that, let me just take you back to that particular place in Vancouver that day. So, there is this Guru Nanak Gurdwara, which Nijjar used to head as the president. There is another Gurdwara called Dashmesh Darbar, which is headed by a chap called Moninder Boyle. Now, these two people have been responsible for secessionism in that particular area in Surrey. Now, they have been aided and abetted by the Pakistani Consul General, and that too out in the open. And all this is known to the Canadian intelligence. Now, it is for the Canadian intelligence to come out with the proof that what were these people doing over there. They knew that. Just as they think they know that Indian agency was involved behind the killing of Nijjar, I'm sure they would know what was the Pakistani Consul General doing over there.
The tentacles of Pakistan's ISI in this entire Sikh radical Khalistani separatist movement, which is emanating out of Canada, is not something that is unknown to our intelligence agencies. We have routinely sent lists to even Pakistan about Khalistani elements they are harboring within Pakistan, and also to Canada, of course. Can you sort of tell our viewers about what our intelligence agencies talk about Pakistan's involvement in this entirety?
See, we've been sharing data about Khalistani separatists with Pakistan, with US, with UK, with Germany, with Canada since at least 15 years. We have sent detailed dossiers, and particularly after 26/11, we've been sending dossiers year after year, telling them to take action. Now, the point I want to make over here is that while US is concerned about the so-called Indian activity in Nijjar's killing, why doesn't the US tell the Canada to take action against the terrorists, the Khalistani terrorists which are being given shelter over there? We all know that Nijjar's mentor, Jagtar Singh Tara, Nijjar's other supporters, like Lakhbir Singh wrote, they all have their relatives who are actively, overtly supporting the Khalistan movement in Vancouver, in Ontario, in Calgary. It is for the Canadian police and the intelligence, which has full details about what is the activity of the Khalistan in their country, to take action. But the fact is, no action is taken at any point of time. Instead, action is that what they are doing is they are casting aspersions on the Indian agency, saying that they have suddenly become proactive, as if that they were sleeping before that.
No. In fact, there is a report in the Vancouver Sun today where Hardeep Singh Nijjar's son himself goes out and says that the Nijjar met the Canadian intelligence, CSIS, every week before killing that Trudeau is now linking to India. In fact, Balraj Nijjar says that he also attended a meeting between his father and the RCMP last year in which they were told about threats to his father's life. So the less said about the Canadian intelligence is really the better.
I think what has happened in that particular point of time is that Nijjar felt that he was being threatened by people who were against Khalistan, and he must have written a letter to the Canadian intelligence saying that his life was under threat. And I think out of this, the various meetings came out. But the fundamental point over here is, what steps did Canadian intelligence take to protect Nijjar, to tell the country or the individuals or the agents that they should back off? I don't think so. Anything like that has happened. So what has really happened is, I think it is time that Justin Trudeau, instead of playing these, smoke and mirror games, cloak and dagger games, he should come out in the open as to what intelligence or what evidence does he have.
Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks now.
Rather than sort of blaming the RAW, blaming X agent, Y agent, saying that, whether India has a right to preemption or not right to preemption, whether it is only given to the Western powers, let them come out. Rather than sort of, using this media with colonial mindset to come out with various theories and various narratives.
Absolutely. In fact, there's a Canadian journalist, Terry Milewski, who I interviewed a couple of days ago. He's put forward a rather unique proposition. He says that if the Khalistanis are so interested in having a separate homeland, then why haven't they asked Pakistan for it yet? Because a large part of Punjab is in Pakistan too. But it's just that India, the target is India. It's not Pakistan.
You see, the fundamental point that, people need to understand it, that the Sikh Empire, headed by Maharaja Ranjit Singh, had its capital in Lahore, right? And I want those people, I want the readers also to look at the flag of Maharaja Ranjit Singh. The flag of Maharaja Ranjit Singh has Hanuman on one side, Lord Hanuman, and on the other side is Chandi Devi. So let's be very clear on what we are talking about. I don't care whether, the Khalistan should be in Pakistan or in Vancouver or in Calgary or even in Ontario. The fundamental point is, I think, let's cut the chaff. Come out with the intelligence. Put money where your mouth is.
Right. Put money where the mouth is, which so far the Justin Trudeau government has been very hesitant to give out actual evidence. It's just talking about credible allegations, which itself is an oxymoron. How can allegations be credible? Because they are allegations at the end of the day. But talking about Trudeau and talking about his political compulsions, I just have one question about this chap called Jagmeet Singh, who supports the Trudeau government, very essential for the survival of the minority Trudeau government, and which is half the reason that the Trudeau backs all these extremist separatists who are residing there within Canada and spoiling the fabric of the Canadian social fabric itself. What do we know about his relationship, Jagmeet Singh's relationship with these pro-Khalistani extremists based in Canada?
I think after seeing the Trudeau play, I've actually come to recognize that the Anglo-Saxon politicians are far more superior than the Indian politicians when it comes to all sorts of the gimmickries and, all sorts of these make-up stories. The fact of the matter is that Jagmeet Singh is the principal advisor to Trudeau, who's playing a political game in this, who just wants the vote. And this insists this a certain part of this community votes en masse. They need that vote to survive and to rule that country. That is where it all stands. And for that, he's just throwing allegations left, right, and center. Now, there are allegations on RW, there are allegations on X service, Y service. There are allegations that suddenly, that Prime Minister Modi has suddenly activated the RW. That's utter nonsense. Nothing of the sort. The agency does its work, and everybody does their work. I mean, after all, it's their business to prevent any attack against India.
Right.
That's where it is.
That's where it is. And without the allegations converted into concrete evidence, one really doesn't know, for Justin Trudeau to stand by his remarks, and it's been weeks now, it's high time that he presented some credible evidence to back up his very public allegations against the Indian government. Thank you so much for talking to us, Shishir, and giving us that insight. Thank you, viewers, for watching this broadcast. We will come back to you with more updates. Stay tuned to Hindustan Times.